Hello everyone, welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. It's been a while since we did a Gianni team selection, but we're back. But Gianni, Red Arrow, and it was a weird week for you, if you can remember back to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I actually can't remember that well, but yeah, I am on a red. The red, I think I was around 10, I was 10k and now I'm like, what, 14, 15.
That's
So
right, yep.
it's actually a huge red. Look, I look back and it was a week I should have used my free hit, but it's very easy to say that now, right? And I think there'll be a lot of managers in my boat that think maybe the free hit was to play, but look, we only know that because those that were on free hit had Son and Kane, not one of them. That was big gains. And that those that were on a free hit had 11 men play. Those that weren't on a free hit pretty much didn't. I ended up with 5. I thought I was going to have a good 8 because I thought I was going to have Kilman. I thought I was going to have Ramsdale. And I thought I was going to have Rafinha. So, bit of a shame, but I scraped through and it could have been worse.
It could have been worse. I don't know. I think like best case scenario on a free hit was what, like 70 points, and you probably had one of the worst or poorer case sort of non-free hit teams, getting around 40 that we'll talk about in a second. To be fair, I mean, some people had it worse. Some people probably only had about two or three players. I've seen some 20 pointers and stuff. I don't know. I think it's all right. You only went down a little bit.
I wanted a grey arrow. I wanted a grey, so I'm not too disheartened with a red, knowing I was never hopeful of a green.
I went up one place, Gianni.
Did you?
I went up one place. I nearly got the green arrow.
How many players did you get? Because obviously you would have had an 11, but I'm guessing you maybe missed out on 1 or 2 through injuries.
Yeah, I think I had 10. I had Rams, no goalkeeper.
Okay.
Huang came off the bench and got me point. I think everyone else sort of played, but yeah, it wasn't exactly a big week for me. I think I got about 50 something. So again, not a huge amount more on what you got, but with more players anyway. All right, we'll talk about that in more detail. We'll talk about your team going into Gameweek 31. Got a double game week. Let's talk about if you can call it that. It is a double game week.
Yeah, it sounds weird saying that.
It does. So I'll be interested to know all the Everton and Burnley players that you're going to be bringing to your side. Before we do that, I just want to talk about Fantasy 5, who are partnered with Fantasy Scout this year. If you've listened to Gianni regularly, you know we touch on this game a fair bit. It's a free-to-play game that you can play kind of alongside FPL. Great prizes to be won. They're giving away things like PS5s, Apple Watches, all this kind of stuff. Essentially, all you do is you log in to Fantasy 5 using the link below. You go look at the 5 games and you pick a player from each of the 5 games who you think will outscore their fantasy point target. If they all do that, then you win £10,000, which will be split between you and any other winners. And there was a couple of winners of this the other week. It sounds really easy. It's not that easy to do, as Gianni and I know, because we try every week. We haven't won the 10 grand yet. But even if you don't win, there's monthly prizes, seasonal prizes to be won. You can set up mini leagues with your friends. All the links to this are in the kind of description below. So if you're interested, take a look and play. Why not? It's free and you can win 10,000. And we're going to win it 1 week, Gianni. We were close. I think we got 3 out of 5 a few weeks ago.
We did come close a couple of weeks ago. So look, there's still long enough of the season left to have a big one.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in that, stick around to the end of this video, because Jenny and I were picking our selection and you can see how the game works if you haven't done so before. So that's Fantasy 5 and you can see the logos on the screen now. And as I said, there's descriptions and links in below this video too. Right, let's talk about Gameweek 30. Then we've touched on it a little bit already. Basically, got 43 points. You had 1, 2, 3, 4. You had what? 5 players play in the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I thought I was getting 8, but I got 5.
Yeah, I thought you were getting 8. Obviously, you didn't have Ramsdale didn't play. Kilman didn't play, which was typical of him to lose his place in that game. Rafinha didn't play as well, and then you had sort of Havertz, Weghorst, Broja, Cancelo, Trent, Salah, lots of guys who didn't have a game anyway. So you were relying on a bit of a misfit bunch. You were relying on Amate, Doherty, Kulusevski, Saka, and Kane.
My
So
transfer in was Amity as well, and we joked, didn't we? I said, "Oh, this week it's going to be a really boring transfer. I'm going to bring in a budget defender that has a fixture." I think I was selling Luca Dean, who again was meant to be one of my doublers,
yep.
and or one of those playing in the blank, and of course was out injured. So Dean went, and we joked about Ben White being the world's most boring transfer, and it was gonna be White or no one, and then I just thought it will be Ben White, and sure he might get a clean sheet this week, but the bookies' odds were saying Leicester were more likely to get a clean sheet. I already have Ramsdale, and I just thought I can save the 0.7, and this is my fifth defender. Whoever I bring in will be on the bench. So even if it's Ben White, he'll probably spend most of the season on my bench, regrettably, because he's good. So I just thought if it's going to be for a bench spot, let's go Amate. So I did it, and yeah, 2 points. He was on 7 points. He was on for bonus and a clean sheet at 84 minutes.
Oh,
I
you
was gutted.
checked. You never
Oh,
check.
I was checking that bonus every time.
It's
Yeah.
always disappointing. Yeah, I've got him as well. I mean, what do you make of him going forward? Because he's playing well, and
He is.
every match report I read, he's had a good game. It's
Yeah.
just there was Evans back on the bench. Fofana came back in Europa League. Vestergaard's knocking around. Justin's there. He can play in sort of multiple
Yeah.
positions. Do you think he keeps his spot in the side? I mean, there's going to be rotation, right? Because there's Europe as well. But
For me, it comes down to that. Like, look, Fofana and Fofana and Evans, we know if they play a back four, Fofana and Evans are 100% Brendan Rodgers' first two centre backs. But they've been injured for a very long time. They've got a huge amount of fixtures. They're not going to be playing every minute because they're just not ready in the fear of reoccurrence of injuries. So whilst they might play the PSV games, I still expect Marty to get plenty of Premier League minutes. What we do know from the fit centre backs, if we say fit over the last couple of months, you've got Vestergaard, Soyuncu, and Amati. Well, Amati is head and shoulders above Vestergaard, not literally, and no one is. But he's clear of Soyuncu as Leicester's fit first choice centre back. In the pecking order, he's 100% above Soyuncu. Now, Justin's great and can play back three centre back, and maybe they move to that. That only benefits Amati anyway if they do play a back three. So I think I'll get, I don't know, let's say they've got 9-10 Premier League games left. I think Amati might start 5 of them, and I'm happy with that, maybe 6 or 7.
yeah, I guess it's more of a problem for me because I've got the bench boost
Okay.
left.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at that Leicester double, for example, and thinking, oh, that's a good bench boost opportunity. And
Yeah.
I might get one game
I'll
out of
take
him,
one,
out of those if I'm kind of lucky. So, yeah, I don't know, I have a few regrets about that. But I nearly went for Luke Thomas, who looks like he's out of the picture completely now with players. So, Castagne's come back and Justin's there as well.
Justin's so good that we just don't
He
know where
is.
he's going to play. Like we know from last season, he played full back in a 4, wing back in a 5, centre back in a 5, like left and right. So whoever's the weak link, whether that's Thomas one week or I don't know, he comes in for Amati another, we will see that because he will get in that. Will get lots of minutes.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy any of the Leicester defenders, can you? Really, that's why we're seeing a bit of a shift towards Schmeichel, for example, especially with Ramsdale sort of being yellow flagged. Would you make a Schmeichel? Would you go there?
I don't mind it. That double in 33, I tweeted the other day. It's part of 4 games in 10 days. 3 of those 4 games are away. One of those away trips is to Holland. From those 4 games, I know one of them is Europe, then 3 Premier League. I think the only Leicester player we can absolutely say plays all 4 of them is Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah.
So if you want a doubler that you're secured minutes of, game week 33, you look at Schmeichel and you think, yeah, save points. I mean, they'll probably concede to Newcastle and Everton, both away trips. But I don't mind Schmeichel. He's cheap as well. He's like 4.7, 4.8. I don't ever remember Schmeichel that cheap. He was always more, wasn't he? He was always a 5 million plus keeper.
Yeah, but Leicester were a better defence.
Very true.
Yeah. I mean, you had the 2 main guys in your team. You had Saka and Kane. I'd say if you had Saka and Kane, you were, I know you got a red, but it wasn't a kind of a disaster week. If you didn't have one of those, or Son, they were kind of the kind of highly owned sort of big scorers. Bit disappointed by Kulusevski and Doherty, 4 points between them.
A little bit, because I thought Spurs looked quite good at the back against West Ham, but the Doherty clean sheet went from a set piece. Shock. West Ham scored a set piece, Spurs conceded from one. But other than the set piece, I don't think there was too many big chances. I mean, you were at the game, but a little disappointed with Doherty because we've all brought him in at the same time and we haven't had those attacking returns that we thought we were going to get yet. Kulusevski, I don't mind. Like, he's massively overachieved for a long time. he was due a blank. Like Kulusevski owners have been very fortunate. He had a tidy enough game. The points will still come for him. We did see evidence of course, if money is no issue, Son is head and shoulders there, and Son is playing as like a number 9, right? Kulusevski's a bit wider, a little bit deeper. But look, still incredible value. I'm holding him.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Son's sort of put himself back on the shopping list now at all? Do you think people that are holding him, for example, would almost certainly be looking to move him on for Kane or move him down to Kulusevski? But it's funny how quickly things can change in 1 week, isn't it? Because suddenly Son gets a brace, Kulu blanks, and now everyone's like, oh wow, maybe Son is back and I should be holding him. He's a lot of money though.
He is a lot of money, but I still think if you own him, there's no way you're selling him now. I don't think you're swapping him for Kane if you own him now. But at the same time, no one that owns Kane is going to sacrifice Kane to accommodate Son. So you stick with what you've got, very likely. And look, if you're in the market to upgrade your midfield and you can afford Kane and Son, you do it. But look, I haven't seen one good team with both, because then where's Salah, where's Trent, where's Cancelo? You can't have them all.
I got rid of Cancelo on the wild card, and he's my biggest fear, I think, going forward.
Mate, that City defence. That City defence for the running. They're going to keep that. They're going to keep like. I don't know off the top of my head how many games. If they've got 9 games left or 8 games left, they'll keep 7 clean sheets, and he'll get loads of attacking returns. That's so good at the back. No one shoots against City because they can't get the ball. The shots City face are so low. Like the XG against them, so good.
It's surprising. I mean, I know they don't concede many goals, but it's surprising that they concede as many goals as they do, given that teams have so few chances. I mean, if you look at their underlying numbers, they're like, I think it's like 150 minutes or something per XG, and Liverpool's next with like 112, something like that. There's a big chasm between them, and they're both such amazing defenses. Last player here, I just want to mention. It seems like we mentioned him every stream, but Rafinha missing out again, just to underline the frustration really of owning him. I mean, it was if you can cast your mind back, it was ridiculous because there was some rumours. I don't think we got anything on the Friday, and then Saturday morning, I think we had there was a few rumours saying he had COVID, and then those rumours changed, and it was like, oh no, he's with the team
on the bus.
Like, he's on the bus, it's fine. And then other people were like, oh no, he's not on the bus, he's not there. I mean, what do you do with him going forward? Is he someone that you're looking to keep?
I just love how we try and check the credibility of these accounts that we've never heard of before. So it's like the guy that said he was on the bus was like, oh, he's got 3,000 followers, and all of his tweets have been quite legit, but obviously he's not a big account. And so it's like, I love how we go through that. And look, rightly so, I was sweating on that and saw that tweet and thought, okay, he's probably all right. But what I would say about the new look Leeds team, are they as attacking as under Bielsa? Maybe not, but they still look like they're going to score every week, which I like. And Rafinha still looks like he's going to be involved every week. So he hit the woodwork twice the week before that. I like the Southampton fixture. I love the Watford fixture. And then he blanks in 33. That might be the week I sell him. But for the next 2, I'm holding. I don't know if he went away with Brazil, Rafinha. I'm guessing he didn't. I'm not sure. I'll be checking that out. And obviously press conference news will be key. But those next 2 games, he's sticking. And again, I always like Leeds at Ellen Road, and he's got Southampton at home. I think that's a nice fixture.
Let me see if he went away with Brazil.
Yeah, he has been getting called up and scoring goals even when he has been called up, but I haven't seen anything about him playing for Brazil, which makes me think he wasn't called up.
No, he didn't go off with Brazil.
That's probably a good thing. Like as long as he's fine and been training, we like that, because when Rafinha is away on international duty, like a lot of South American guys, we often worry about that long flight. We often worry about being in England enough hours before the game, and there are often doubts going into that first game week back. So this way, as long as he's been training, we probably fancy him to start.
Tell you who did get called up though.
Give me a clue.
My favourite player.
Your favourite player, Brazilian?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Firmino? Fabinho? Who's your favourite player? Look, there's no Brighton Brazilians.
No, there's no Brighton Brazilians. Also, Firmino being my favourite player was a hell of a guess. Martinelli.
Of course. Gabriel Martinelli, fair play, because he's so young. I don't know how many senior caps he's got, but
one.
Has he got one? Okay. Fair play. I actually put
I'm
him in my
acting like I
wildcard
know
draft.
all this. I only know this because I've got the Wikipedia page open at the moment, looking at it. So, yeah, before people think I'm some sort of Brazilian football expert, which I don't think I'm in any danger of being
Tim
being
Vickery, eat
called
your
that.
heart out. Gabriel Martinelli, I put in my wildcard draft the other day. I just did a fun wildcard draft for the FPL show last week. Fortunately, we won't have to do that tomorrow, because we did that last week. And yeah, he's 5.3 million. Martinelli, it's like
Yeah, I know.
Arsenal got good fixtures, loads to play for. He will be starting if he's fit. I think Saka and Martinelli were both in my draft. I was like, just go double Arsenal attack.
Yeah. So you've got the wild card left then?
No, I haven't. I was just putting one together.
Playing
If you were using a wild card this week, which a lot are, but again, if you've still got your wild card, and guys will be watching this a lot with their wild card, I think there's a big argument to use it now, but also a massive argument to wait till 34.
Yeah. What chips have you got left?
I've got 2 free hits,
2 free hits. Exciting.
2 free hits and no idea when I'm playing them.
No, I've got 1 and no idea when to play it, so I can't imagine having 2.
Honestly, with 2, it's almost like you would expect has to be an absolute gimme that he's using it in 33 and 36. I do not like those 33 fixtures. Unless I see loads from Man United, I don't like the free hit. I'm not free hitting to bring in Leicester assets that won't play both games and Newcastle assets and drop loads of brilliant single game week players. Like, if I free hit, I will want Kane, I will want Salah, I'll probably want Cancelo, and then I'm looking at my team going, I've got all those 3 guys. Is it worth free hitting just so I can get Bruno and Ronaldo? I can get Sancho anyway. I might captain Sancho for a bit of fun that week. I'm not sure. Look, if I see loads from Man United in the next 2 games, maybe I go there and I go triple United attack because they've been really good for a fortnight. But unless I see that, I'm not even considering it, which makes me go possibly 34, 36. Again, I'm waiting to see if we get any doubles in 34. But City do have Watford. And whenever I use my free hits, I like to target City. Or I go 36, and you'll like this one, 36 and 38. Final day of the season from the As school of thought, which didn't work for you,
no.
But
honestly though, I talk. It's one of my worst FPL memories that free hit, but it wasn't because it couldn't have worked. It's just because I got in the wrong players, and I made a couple of last minute moves on the free hit, and in the end it cost me a place in the top 10k. But realistically, the free hit, if you get in the right players, you will get a better score than if you didn't. That's just kind of how it is any week. So I don't hate the idea of it. It's an exciting end to the season as well, especially
there's
with
some nice fixtures.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think if you can, I think I would rather. We'll come on to your team now. I think if you could get a team out for 33, I feel the same about 33 as I did about this week, as about the last double game week, in the sense that I just don't see enough potential for it. The only thing is, you talk about bringing in Sancho. At least you could bring in someone like Sancho and not have to get rid of him next week when you realise that United have, failed to score against Norwich and got battered by Liverpool or something. And and then we're doing one of these streams and you've got Sancho and you're just like crying into your coffee about having Sancho in your side. Let's have a look how you're set up going forward then. So we talk about game week 31. We'll talk about game week 33 a bit as well. I think you're in good nick. Your team looks good. Ramsdale in goal. You've got Cancelo, Trent and Doherty. You've got Salah captain, Havertz, Saka, Rafinha, Kulusevski. You've got Weghorst and Kane up front. You've got 2.5 million in the bank. 1 free transfer. On your bench, you've got Foster, Brozier, Kilman and Amote. I mean, you've got a good team here, right? You've got Weghorst. I know he's not the greatest underlying stats and points performers ever, but people are looking to move for a Burnley player, given they've got these doubles coming up. You've got yep, exactly. Get all those sweet O's. You've got Havertz already, so you've got your Chelsea player for their great run, and you've got what I think is the best one as well. You've got Cancelo still. You didn't get rid of him. You've got Salah in place. You've got Kane. You've got to look at this team and think you're gonna have a decent end to the season, really.
I do love my team at the minute. Not gonna lie, I'm looking at it going, I don't even even for that game week 33, it's well set, which is why I'm not looking at the free hit. So I do feel like I'm in as good a place as I've been this season, which is quite nice, because it's not been an easy season by any stretch. And like all managers, I've had my fair share of heartache earlier in the season, but I've got one free transfer and I've got 2.5 million in the bank, so I'm loaded as
I
well.
can't believe you've got 2.5 million in the bank with this team.
Yeah, I've got some good packed cash here. So I don't know. I think that if Trent's out, I can sell Kilman, and maybe I could sell Kilman to Reece James, for example. But again, I don't know if I want to go James just yet. And again, like Kilman is someone that I want to sell. He doesn't have the best fixtures, not a huge amount to play for, and he's missed 2 of the last 3 games. I'm not sure if he's been dropped or if it's just his parents are from Ukraine and he's had a lot of minutes. I don't know, but it's too risky to hold him. So at some point, Kilman will have to go. So I could buy a Burnley defender because they have a nice double a good enough double in 33. Although I don't love them for 31, but they've got their own loads of fixtures, so I could keep it cheap and go Roberts or Taylor 4.4, 4.5, whatever they are, or I could go Kilman to Reece. I can't go Kilman to Robbo. I'm 0.1 short.
You could do Kilman to Reece. Yeah, Kilman to bloody hell, what an upgrade that is. Kilman to Reece James.
Yeah, and then if Trent doesn't play, which I don't think he will, we don't know yet, then yeah, even if Reece doesn't play, I still have Amati come in, which isn't the end of the world. I think Amati probably plays that United game.
I have to say, Gianni, I'm impressed with how it's come around. I look at this team and I think there is no weakness there. The only, I mean, you've got. I wildcarded like 2 weeks ago, and you've got a better team than I've got. For example,
Come on.
I know.
Yeah, but I'd swap in a heartbeat, mate. Can I have your ranking, your team, please?
No. I think the only player really that you haven't got that I would fear is Robertson.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's not really anyone. I mean, if you're thinking about players that the people should be getting in, sort of going forward as maybe a bit kind of differential options, you've got Havertz in there who's not highly owned. You could maybe look at, like, we've talked about Foden multiple times on this, and De Bruyne, and the City players. You mentioned them getting 7 clean sheets in 9. Yeah. I think they'll get 8 wins out of 9 as well. Yeah. It was a draw against Palace in the last game, but I think we're going to see them now just relentlessly marching on to that title, and I think it's all going to be decided by that game against Liverpool in a couple of weeks, which is really exciting. But yeah, I look at this team, I think, yeah, it looks great.
Laporte's another option. I could go Kilman to Laporte for those clean sheets if I want something safer than Reece James. And then I've got that City attack. I will want Foden back, of course. Gianni will always own Foden. Like Havertz, I'm thinking will go to Sancho in 33. And as much as I love Havertz, I think he'll become a rotation risk around 33 if Chelsea continue in Europe. And remember, they've got 2 games against Real Madrid, either side of, I think, that Arsenal fixture in 33. That Arsenal fixture in 33, I think, is a Lukaku game. I think Havertz could even miss that. So I think I'll sell him to Sancho, and then off the back of that, double sell Sancho to Foden for City's good fixtures. That's kind of my loose plan without being too set, is using that price midfield role. If I do, however, keep Kilman to a cheap defender, I could turn Rafinha or Kulusevski into that role of Sancho or that role of Foden and keep Havertz if I think he's going to play every game.
I mean, you've only got 3 doublers, right, for 33 here. You've got Ramsdale, Saka, and Weghorst. No one else has a double.
Broja and Amati, but I don't think Amati will play both, and Broja perhaps will. So
Broja's I forgot about him on the bench. Okay, well,
the next 2 transfers will almost certainly be doublers. So whether that this week, unless it's Reece James, but after that it will be. If not, it will be a Burnley defender this week who doubles, or it will be rolling the transfer to then bring in 2 doublers next week.
So if you've got 7 doublers for 33 without a hit, or say 8 with a hit, that would stop you from doing the free hit.
Definitely. Even if I only go 6 and I buy Reece James now, but no, I'd still then buy 2 doublers. So yeah, I will have 7, and yeah, that's absolutely fine for me. Even if I had 6, I'd consider, because there's so many good single game week fixtures: Spurs, City, Liverpool.
That's what I'm looking at as well. 7 to 8 for me with a hit, and then I'll save my 1 free hit for probably 36 or 37. I'm waiting for that City double. As soon as City get a double.
Exactly. Mate, my free hits, like I've said about using my free hits, the big turn-off in 33 is I want to use my free hits to go triple City or double City attack. And whenever that will be, if that's in 34 against Watford in a single game week, and I go Mahrez and Foden or KDB, in 36 or 37, I just want to have fun with City because no one's got City attack, really. Exactly. And I can go for 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought as well. Yeah, that's exactly my thought as well. And as we know, free hits for City midfielders works out really well.
Yeah, poor Mahrez owners. They were
I
unlucky.
know they were. They sure were. What about the double this week then? So we've talked about Burnley a little bit. You've got Weghorst in place. You've mentioned maybe getting a defender. I guess you've got Pope there as well. Other than that, it's pretty poor. I mean, Dwight McNeil's had a really poor season. Cornet hasn't done anything, since he's got back from AFCON. So I think you're limited to probably Pope and Weghorst, maybe a Me or a Roberts, but not exactly the most exciting. What about Everton? Any interest in Everton? Loads of games coming up, but I mean, unceremoniously dumped out of the FA Cup, 4-0 to Palace, and then Frank talking like a 12-year-old FIFA player saying, "Oh, all the goals were rubbish. You couldn't even score a good goal against me. This game's stupid." Yeah. All that. So that's my impression of Frank Lampard. Thank you. Any interest in the likes of Gordon, Calvert-Lewin, Pickford?
Look, if your team can accommodate that 4.5 mid and you need one, then Gordon's still the standout, alongside Ramsey, of course. But other than that, you look at Everton attack, and obviously Gordon 4.5. They're expensive. You've got to pay 7.5 for Richarlison, 7.7 for DCL. Even the likes of Gray and Decore, who at the start of the season were really good, I look at them now in the team, and especially how Everton are playing and the amount of goals they're scoring. These guys they're 4.5 assets, right? So there's no value there for Everton other than Gordon. And even in goal, I can't tell you that Pickford's 100% going to start every game. He was dropped not long ago for one game of Begovic, who did all right, and then he came back in. But Pickford's always a game away from being dropped at the moment, I think. So even in goal, you could look at it and go, "Oh, maybe I could get some save points in the double." But for me, Burnley are more attractive than Everton this week, and Pope is probably the standout. Pope and Weghorst are more attractive than any Everton player, other than Gordon, maybe. But if Ramsdale is injured, I might even make that transfer of Ramsdale to Pope, because I don't want Foster against Liverpool, and I think Pope can still clock up some decent points, because I don't mind goalkeepers with tough double fixtures because they get the save points. And look, Pope's owed so many fixtures, I wouldn't mind going there.
So would you go Pope over Schmeichel?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, because I've got the money, I think I would. If money was really tight, it'd be a serious question. But let's say Schmeichel and Pope are both the same price, I'd be going Pope.
No disrespect to Burnley fans, but would you have thought at the start of the season you'd be saying at this stage that Burnley have more options than Everton?
I know, right?
It shows they really have fallen down quite a way, haven't they? I just think it's a shame to be using transfers for Everton players, given how poor they've been, when we've got City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, and Chelsea, all with good fixtures, something to play for.
Yeah.
And and playing for top sides. And when I think about bringing in the likes of Calvert-Lewin or Gordon, or someone, I mean, I think Gordon out of both teams is the one player that I think you can justify a move for, because it frees up funds for other things to happen. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think any other player is something that I'll be doing, unless, like you say, Ramsdale is out and you need a new goalkeeper. And then I think Pope then comes into the reckoning. But,
I do think Burnley will keep plenty of clean sheets still. Like, this is Sean Dyche, the fixtures at Turf Moor. Burnley still have to play Everton, Norwich. They've got Watford, they've got Southampton, they've got Newcastle. These games are very sort of 1-0 Burnley wins for me, or 0-0s even.
Yeah, I can't argue that. Salah captain?
I think so. Yeah.
Any desire to change that? That's pretty good, isn't it?
It does. It's Salah at home against Uncle Roy. Like, for me, you go there. As long as he's fit, of course. I'm sure he's fine. Newcastle is a nice fixture for Spurs because it's at the new White Hart Lane, or the Spurs Stadium. I don't know what it's called.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Okay. Look, so there will be a few that give it to Kane for a bit of fun, or even Havertz versus Brentford would be really fun, but not many have got him. But I'll be going Salah.
What could go wrong, captaining Havertz over Salah?
I know, right? It still hurts. So, yeah, I mean, there are loads of nice captaincy options this week. Even Cancelo versus Burnley, you could argue is an option. Definitely the Spurs players. Arguably a Havertz, but Salah's will continue to be the standout, and rightly so. There will be some really rogue managers that think going Weghorst captaincy over Salah's a really good shout, just because of 2 games. But really, is it 2 games or is it Everton plus appearance points versus City?
Yeah, and knowing Weghorst's appearance points in
Both.
both, probably can't play us every week where he got like 14 points. Yeah, I think the only player that I think could maybe rival Salah this week would be De Bruyne. If you had him, if you'd had that differential option in him, just given how City perform against Burnley,
Yeah, I do
Burnley's
love playing
tactics.
Burnley.
Burnley's tactics just do not work against Man City, and they always get absolutely battered. So going into that game with no City players at all is a concern for me. And you've got Cancelo, which he basically operates as an attacker a lot of the time. You've got to be confident that he's going to get some returns.
Definitely. I'm never confident with any defender ever going, you're going to get a clean sheet because it's just so dangerous. You could concede 0.2 xg and still concede a goal, right? So even your Liverpool and City defenders, I never say I'm confident I'm going to get a clean sheet. But you look at some defenders and go, you really do want attacking returns. And Cancelo against Burnley is just the dream fixture because City just love having fun against Burnley. And as long as they score an early goal, they'll score 4 or 5 if they score an early goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's it. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, all good. I mean, yeah, my transfer plans, as I've said, like very loose, very fluid. It could be Pope out, it could be Kilman out, or it could be rolling. But at the moment, I want that transfer. I want to know what I'm doing in 33 when I make that transfer because going for a Burnley player might just appeal if I'm not free hitting, for example, in 33 for an extra doubler.
I think if Ramsdale's fit, you save.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's been so good. Also, going without Ramsdale is quite scary because he's so well owned as well. Like he is not only very good, but if he delivers, you lose out.
Yeah, and I think he'll be all right. I think he was almost he was there, wasn't he? He went with the Arsenal squad, didn't he?
Yeah, he was pictured on the bus, wasn't he?
Yeah,
on the bus.
Yeah, on the bus. But he wasn't in the squad, but he was around. So
yeah,
I don't know. I get the sense that he's probably going to be fine.
Yeah,
anyway. Okay, let's talk Fantasy 5 then. Before we head off, let's pick our team that's definitely going to win £10,000. The first game is Leeds United versus Southampton. Well, Bamford's out again, we think.
Yeah.
So he's not an option for us up front. But up front, we've got Broja and Rodrigo or Che Adams. They're all at 6.5. In midfield, Rafinha 8.5. Dan James 7.5. Harrison 6.5, which I don't mind too much. And then for Southampton, you've got Ward-Prowse at 7.5. He's probably the one. And then all the defenders priced at 6.5 or higher. What do you reckon? I think Rafinha at 8.5 is too much. I like Harrison at 6.5.
I'm just looking at Harrison's numbers now, and I was going to say when Harrison scores points, he scores points big. And this season, he's had loads of blanks, and then he's had an 8, a 20, and a 9. All the others have been blanks, but when he does score, he scores big.
We just need over 6.5. He's going to get his 20, I reckon.
Let's do it. That's good value as well.
Yeah, I mean, the strike. I think the Southampton strikers at 6.5 aren't too bad. Leeds have improved, but you always sense they could. I mean, they already conceded a load of goals to Wolves before Wolves got that red card. But we'll go for old Jack Harrison. It's the Midlands derby next. Wolves versus Villa. No Jimenez. He's got a red card. So you're looking at, well, for Wolves, who are they going to play up front? They've got Hwang and Silva there at 6.5. Villa have got Watkins and Ings. Looking at sort of the midfield, you've got Coutinho 7.5. Ramsey 7.5 as well. Pedence, Neto, all 7.5. So all of these have got quite high targets, really. And then in defence, everyone at 6.5. Really tough to predict this. I don't think this is going to be a goal fest.
No, I don't. I don't think this will be a goal fest at all. It's a really tough one. Do you go for a defender with a bit of upside? I'd probably back Villa over Wolves.
I think probably Cash or 8 Nori. One of those two would probably be the one to go for. 6.5. Hope for a clean sheet and an attacking return.
I'd go Cash, I think. Let's go Cash.
Cash.
I'd love to have said Coutinho, but I'm with you. Like, I can't see it being a goal fest.
No, 7.5 is quite high. He's a goal analyst. I mean, you got to think with Jimenez, he's not going to have that kind of out ball.
Yeah.
So they might be a bit more pressed in, but I can't see Wolves conceding 3 goals in a game like that to Villa. United Leicester next. Interesting game. Ronaldo 9.5. Fernandes 10.5. Sancho 8.5. These are very, very high prices.
The United tax is real.
Yeah, the United tax is real. I mean, we have seen Ronaldo at 6'5" before. I guess their price. I mean, Leicester's defence has been poor. Leicester players. I mean, you've got Barnes at 6'5", Maddison at 7'5".
Oh, I don't mind Barnes at 6'5", you know.
I think Barnes at 6. That's a goal.
I mean, United are going to concede in that football match, surely.
I think a goal for Barnes and 2 appearances.
Yeah.
I guess him 7.
Yeah. Let's do that. I think Leicester score, and you wouldn't, Barnes involved. I can see that.
I think so. I mean, if you look at defence, all the defenders are 6'5" or over, except for Soyuncu, who's 5'5". So just needs a clean sheet. But I can't see Leicester keeping a clean sheet, to be honest. I think you've got to go for Barnes in that. I think that's probably the easiest one to pick. West Ham, Everton. Quite evenly matched here, which is surprising.
They're not good away from home, are they? Frank's boys, they're shocking away from home.
You've got to pick a West Ham player here. Surely they're not even that highly priced. I mean, Antonio's the same price as Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. I mean, Benrahma's 8.5, Fornal 7.5.
Is Bowen back for this one? Is Bowen likely to be back? I think he might be. Well, I think he
7.5.
He was rumoured that this would be the game he's back for.
Yeah, he's 7.5. So if he is back, I think he's probably the obvious choice. I mean, the Everton players are priced around the same. Gordon's 7.5, Gray's 7.5. Like, I'd rather have Benrahma than Gordon, I think, in this.
Yeah, me too. I don't mind that.
8. I mean, West Ham could win that.
Yeah.
I'll put Benrahma in, but
yeah.
we'll swap into Bowen if he's fit.
He's fit. You can change late, can't you?
Yeah, and I think we ignore the defence. And then the final game is Spurs v Newcastle. Highest priced player isn't Harry Kane. It's
Son.
Heung-min Son, yep, at 10.5. Harry Kane's 9.5. Kulusevski's 8.5. So all quite highly priced. Ryan Fraser, 5.5.
Oh, same as his FPL price, I think.
I mean, that's cheap. Willock's 5.5 as well. I mean, they've priced Newcastle like a really poor team, but I fancy Newcastle to get a goal.
They are. Spurs teams concede against everyone.
Do you think Spurs score big against Newcastle to justify Kane at 9.5, or do we go Fraser at 5.5?
Oh, I actually think Kane has got a greater chance. But saying that, I think the sensible pick would be to go Fraser.
Well, 5.5 isn't just an assist, right? 5.5 would, because that'd be 3 and 2, so that'd be 5. So he needs a goal.
He needs a goal or 2 assists.
Yeah,
I don't think they scored 2 though, do they?
No, I think we go Kane. I think 9.5 is achievable for Kane.
On pens as well. We haven't had many pens recently.
Yeah, Doherty's 8.5, Reguilon's 7.5. I think
they're not. Yeah, I think. Yeah. You can't bank on a Spurs clean sheet ever.
Okay, that's our team then. We've got Harrison, Cash, Barnes, Benrahma, and Kane.
Not a bad 5-a-side team, that.
It's not a bad 5-a-side team, is it? Yeah.
Usually it's like 50% of our team are absolutely rubbish.
I reckon Benrahma would be an awesome 5-a-side teammate.
He's made for that, isn't he? He's made for that.
He'd just destroy everyone that he played. Excellent, Gianni. Awesome, as always. Good to be back doing these videos with you. No more breaks now until the end of the season. So we'll be on these every week. But yeah, your team's looking great. So I expect you to be very full of smiles as we go forward.
I hope so, mate. It doesn't feel like there's too much that can sting me this week, which is nice. Nice feeling to have. I know. Well, Robbo hat-trick incoming.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Nice one. We'll be back next week. Thanks everyone for watching and listening, and we will see you soon.
See you later.